Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. It's time to connect with you as we take electricity supply and, of course, its distribution network from its physical locations, and then we put it straight into your ears. This is Ikeja Electric and You. It is an advocacy program which is meant to connect with you, the listeners, and ensure that you have a better working relationship with Ikeja Disco. All right, so they've been doing this for several years, but this time around, they want to have more interaction with you. They want to connect with you and serve you much better. All right, quite unusual, you say, but they are ready, and that's why they are bringing this up from time to time. Let's get back to the roots first and then serve you the latest helpings as it relates to your movement. A flash update coming in from the Agege end says cones have been strategically positioned at Ikeja roundabout in order to disengage the activities and, of course, to also deal with the menace of tricycles and other commercial buses within the axis. All right, so you need to take note of that. A patrol team and, of course, all the shifts leaders and officers posted into Ikeja roundabout. They've been there and they've been instructing some of the motorists to continue by maintaining and sustaining this arrangement day in, day out. All right, so what that simply means is that in order not to violate the established rules there, some cones have been provided by the traffic managers to ensure that, the tricycles do not infringe on your movement. Okay, so they are streamlined, and that would also bring some levels of sanity in that direction. Right. So say kudos to the traffic managers within the Agege end for bringing up that strategy. Okay, so I would tell you, if you're making that update to the island, you still have it pretty good on the Third Milan Bridge. Ikorodu Road, which is Route 2, we did report that we have a breakdown of a vehicle, and I understand it's due to overheating. And the location is mile 12 main carriageway inward K2. So you need to take note of that. Backlog is somewhere around Owode Oniri. All right. So watch out for that if you are within the Ikorodu end. Quickly taking you through the PWD N2, we have steady flow of traffic from Ilezik proceeding towards Ajayi Farms and then Ikeja along as well as National. It's still looking good. While the return journey to Yano-Dopemu from National is looking pretty good to go at this time. So no major worries. All right then, so we've dealt with the house cleaning duties as relates to your movement from one location to the other. Let's now talk about Ikeja Electric and You dealing with menace of vandalism. Ikeja Disco coming to the rescue. All right, we started this conversation 2 weeks back, and we are revisiting it because it is very, very high at the moment. So we're having heightened levels of vandalism across some of the networks, not just in Lagos, but across Nigeria as well, which is quite unfortunate. Now, some of you are complaining about the epileptic power supply that we are experiencing. And how would that be when people are vandalizing some of these assets, which is meant to serve you and I? And I'm going to be starting out with this report that came out in the Nation newspaper this morning. It says blackout worsens as hoodlums vandalize transmission line. It says that the transmission company of Nigeria on Sunday declared that one of its very critical infrastructure, talking about the Shiroro Katankwe 330 kV transmission line, was vandalized, making it the fifth of such incidents between February and March this year. And that's leaving the country in perpetual blackout, all right? It says on February 28th, it was reported that vandals destroyed Tower 70 along its 330 kVA Gwagwalada Katankwe transmission line in Abuja, making it the third transmission tower to be vandalized by these unscrupulous elements within 5 days of that time. So that tells you how crucial this is. So once you begin to talk about, Ikeja Electric, you're not supplying us power, or whatever disco that is supplying you, anyway you're listening to me right now, and if you feel they're not supplying you with anything, this is the reason. Okay, we're having a lot of vandals who are really dissipating this equipment. All right, but let's get to my guests in the studios. They'll be able to talk more about this. Halimah Shuaibu is a great friend of the house right now. She's no stranger to the microphone. She's external communications coordinator for Ikeja Electric. Halimah, nice to have you back in the studios. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Victor. How was the weekend?
It was good. And you?
Oh, fine. Fantastic.
Wonderful. And she's been joined this morning by Edwin Agbo. He's the Zoneal security coordinator for Ikeja Electric. Mr. Agbo, nice to have you. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Victor.
And how are you doing?
I'm great.
Great. So look at the background I just painted right now, which is vandals, again, targeting some assets that belong to the transmission line. I know you guys have been talking about the ones that even affect you directly, but what does that say? You know, when we look at all of this across Nigeria, Halimah, let me start from you first off. What's the consequence of these vandals, you know, dealing with these assets across Nigeria?
Well, Victor, the most shocking part of it is how audacious these vandals are, because, I mean, someone who has a little or no knowledge of electricity should know that electricity is not something to toy with. And so when these things happen, unfortunately, our customers don't know that even at a national scale, you can see that's happening at it is a transmission line that has been affected. They don't know how much impact that has on how we're able to distribute electricity.
Right.
And so, of course, it's not only happening at our own level, at the disco level, it's also happening at that level, Victor. And this is very disheartening. I also read the one that happened in Kano yesterday, of course, putting out people in Kano out of supply.
Which is quite unfortunate. All right, so for our listeners this morning, Halimah, just take us through, what is the distribution chain? How does it look like? So that they will understand better why they say, well, sometimes I have 5 hours, I have 2 hours, I have 3 hours of electricity supply.
Absolutely. So because, of course, the whole the electricity value chain, the process starts, of course, from the gencos. And, of course, we know that predominantly we generate electricity with gas. Of course, that constitutes 80% of how, how we generate electricity.
Okay.
And so from gencos, when electricity has been generated, of course, it's been transmitted through the transmission company of Nigeria. Thereafter, of course, it's been received by the distribution companies, in this case, Ikeja Electric, and of course, before it gets to the final consumers and customers like we know it. Right. So this is a value chain, and of course, when anything happens in any of to any of the players, you're going to. This is exactly what we're going to be experiencing. Like a lot of people have had issues of electricity in the last 2 months, if I may say, January, February, of course. So that means something has happened to one of the players, and that is why. And of course, vandalism is also part of it, like you rightfully stated in the opening of this program.
Right. So it's a very, very, very huge thing indeed when you talk about all of this. So what's the state of power supply right now under Ikeja Disco? Has it improved?
Well, yes. If you look at the last 48 hours, you see that some locations, of course, are beginning to see improvement. We are not where we want to be. We're not where we should be. But then, of course, there's a bit of improvement. And of course, like we said last week, as soon as generation increase, there's capacity, and of course, people observe a corresponding increase in the number of hours. So we have seen some kind of increase in what we have gotten from the gencos, and of course that's what is responsible for what we have observed in the last 48 hours.
All right, Halimah can testify to that, because I was just speaking with my colleagues before you guys came in, and they can testify. Some have said 7 to 8 hours, and they've had some improvement over the weekend. So it means a lot has really improved.
Oh, thank you so much for that feedback, Victor. At least, unlike last 2 weeks, you were saying that you didn't even get up to an hour.
That's right.
So it's good to hear that.
Right. Mike was also testifying to that. He says in his own area, they were able to receive about 8 hours. Another of my colleagues here did say, yes, things have really improved, which is good. Let me get to Edwin. Edwin, you are the security consultant, let me say, or perhaps the one who's in charge of security for Ikeja Electric. How serious a problem is vandalism under the network?
Thank you, Victor. It's really a big problem for Ikeja Electric. If you look at the trajectory over time, within the last 3 years, in 2022, we lost a total of 142 transformers. And the cost of replacing this installation is really huge for the business. For last year, 2023, it was really huge for us. We put a lot of measures in place in ensuring that our customer understand how this thing works, because this installation sits inside the community, and it's not where we have our team that normally patrol, so we latch on the community to actually protect. But in 2023, a total of 171 DT were lost, which is huge for the business. Yeah, we understand that.
171 are these transformers?
Yeah, these are both pole-mounted and landed transformers.
Okay.
Initially, we thought there's a lot of things happening within the space in Lagos State where we have a lot of road construction and the rest. Yeah, for our underground cable, these have been vandalized over time and the engagement have been happening. But for the landed transformer, the pole-mounted transformer, is really huge for the business. For Ikeja Electric to actually lost a total of 171 DTs. I say this really huge for us.
It's very, very huge indeed. But which areas of the network are most affected?
Yeah, we have 6 business units. If we look at Akko itself, we witnessed about 51 numbers of DT transformer.
Akko alone?
Yeah, in Oshodi we recorded 35. In Ikorodu we had 24. In Abule Egba we had 27. Yeah, this just to show you how it looked like. Yeah, we're just starting the year and we are in March already. January to February, we also lost 20 DTs.
20?
20, which is huge. If we continue like this, there might not be supply for our customers.
Which is very, very unfortunate.
So,
all right, so how does this happen? I mean, you need to just take us through. When we say vandalism here, what's the process and what happens really?
Okay, as I said, we have a landed transformer, the pole-mounted transformer. We have the cable that comes from the pole down to the DT. What these vandals do is that they just remove those cables because they are copper cable, and copper today in Nigerian market is highly priced. So they just sever that cable and you peel it, and before you know it, it's in their bag. So our campaign, we've been taking our campaign into the community. For last year alone, we arrested over 20 vandals, and it cuts across all tribes. We won't say, it is the Hausa or this tribe. It cuts across everybody.
Right.
And we also have people during the process of trying to sever this cable, they got electrocuted.
Wow.
Yeah. We also have cases where, while we are doing this campaign, so where we arrest some of these people, rather than taking the law into our hands, we can just hand them over to the police authority.
And do we know of any kind of punitive measures that are given to those who are arrested? Because some have said if they're not punished severely, nothing will change. Halimah, have you had any feedbacks on those arrests?
Oh, very well. In fact, some of them are being charged to court. I'll allow Edwin to speak to that.
Yes. Some of those punitive measures we've put in place to ensure that we allow the law to take its course. Once we are arrested, we hand you over to the police with the evidence and the rest, and then we go through our court process. And to get judgment in our court will take time. For year 2023, over 20 vandals were arrested, and we secure about 13 judgment.
Okay.
Some were recruited, as I said. Some who could not track them as a result of community taking the laws into their hands, or because of the pain they put those community into, they decide to beat them. Some of them will be severely beaten. At such case, it will be difficult for police to accept such people.
Right. Okay, so for some of these outages, let's look at the impact. So are you saying some of the impacts that people are experiencing right now is as a result of this vandalized equipment that you have?
Yeah, that's true. Most times you find that community would think there is no supply, not knowing that their transformer have been vandalized overnight, and they would think Ikeja Electric will come and fix. They'll wait one day, the first day, the second day, and they'll come to office to report. And our technical team will actually visit there only to find out that this transformer have been severe.
And I'm just thinking aloud right now. Is there anything do as a community? So if you talk about community response in this regard, Halimah, what do you think communities can do to tackle this menace?
Okay, so the issue of vandalism is not something that Ikeja Electric can do, like you rightfully noted. And of course, what we have been doing is to work with communities. We work with CDAs, we sensitize them and get them to even bring in their vigilante people in their communities. In fact, we've gone as far as even making special arrangements in some communities where we find vulnerable transformers, where we ask them to, okay, you know what, if your transformer is fenced, we keep the key with somebody that when our workmen come to the community, they can get the key from the from that person.
Okay.
We've also gone a step further to say, okay, before any activity, when there's a fault and our people are coming into the community, they must get clearance from certain members of the community before they can work. We've also said that they should discourage the use of people they call NEPA 2 in quote, or any yes,
NEPA 2?
Yes, they call them NEPA 2. These are unauthorized persons who go to work in the transformer or do any other electrical work in the community. Okay. Because those people, you really cannot tell who is going to the transformer. And so we say, okay, so that we can sanitize the community and say, okay, we know who is coming in and who is coming out. All right, it has to be our people. The key will be with some people. In fact, some communities have also even have gone a step further to say, okay, we're going to fortify these places ourselves. Right. So we say we're going to fence and keep the key. We're also going to see that the place is lit somewhere, and then of course inform the people who secure the environment. Right. So these are the ways in which community can help, because we can't be everywhere all the time.
Which is very, very true. So that means it requires some kind of collective effort for us to really, really fight off this kind of menace. Edwin, from what you see, some of the locations you mentioned Akunwojo, and I know there's some communities that fall under Akunwojo that would have been engaging in this. Any strategy that have been put in place there? If you have just 50, I mean, a whole lot of, you said about 51? Or how many?
51 for 2023, and 2024, just 2 for now.
All right.
Yeah.
51 is huge out of 171. That's what I'm saying, for just one area alone. So what strategy are you deploying in those areas?
Yeah, we have, thank you, Victor. We have different strategies we put in place. The first is that we have to meet with community members, which we've been doing, the CDA, the CDC, the influencers, during their meeting, we normally come sit with them, talk with them, look at those DT itself, look at those areas that are vulnerable, and we also profile solution to them on how to fortify this. This we do continuously. Weekly basis, monthly basis, we go to their meetings. We will meet with the heads of the OBAs at Alausa here to see how we can actually scale the number. It's huge for the business, and we've taken a deliberate approach for 2024 in ensuring that we scale the number down. It's now a major KPI for all employees of Ikeja Electric that work within that zone. They must go out and meet the community. We must identify those DTs, those transformers that are vulnerable, and profile solution. Those that need housekeeping will do them. Just like Halimah mentioned, we identify somebody within the community that will be a custodian of keys. Right. Now we put our fencing. We're also looking at lighting, solar lighting system. These are measures we put in ensuring that we actually scale this number down.
I'm just thinking, can technology help in all of this?
Yeah. That is a long-term approach. Technology which actually help. We've done a proof of concept in some of our DTs, like 3. That's 2 years back, where we installed technology. Once you enter that transformer, you trigger the alarm. There's also a camera there, that picture you and send that picture down. We also that quickly within the space of 5 minutes, actually respond and get those information within that time. Within the last 2 years, we installed that technology. Nobody have vandalized that DT, and we say this where we should be going. But the cost of putting such things is high.
It's very, very huge.
Yeah, it's very huge for now. So,
all right, I'm sure these are things that you guys will be trying to consolidate on. But earlier on, you talked about underground and over the land kind of vandalism, right?
Yes.
So for your underground cables, are they also being vandalized too?
Yeah, we see a lot of constructions, a lot of development happening within the space of Lagos State now. And some of our cables are underground, especially the Alausa, Ikeja area. And we see where people worked on this thing and don't inform us before we know our cable have been severed and there will be outage. Some of our customers, they are prime customers that should have light 22 to 24 hours. Once these things are severe, they also come back to us. So we are trying to see how we can engage them. Once there's any construction, you inform us, we identify the area our cable passed through.
All right. So, I mean, that kind of vandalism is not a criminal one.
Yeah, it's
an unknown kind of thing.
Yeah. At times also resort to criminality, because we see where people vandalize and you see cable and you severe it.
Oh, okay. So that could also happen as well.
Yeah.
All right. The Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning on Ikeja Electric and You, we're doing our own little bit to deal with the menace of vandalism. Ikeja Electric, that's Ikeja Disco on Focus. That's where we are. And of course, Halimah Shuaibu is here. Same for Edwin Agbo. He's the Zoneal security consultant, or head Zoneal security manager for Ikeja Electric. Very, very shortly, we'll expand the discourse beyond the studios, but let's get back to my friends in the studios. First off, let's still address one or two challenges. So, if I see someone who is perhaps tampering with any of the Ikeja disco facilities, Halimah, what am I supposed to do?
Oh, okay. So we have emergency numbers, that 24 hours emergency number that customers can reach out to us on. We also have email addresses where people can even whistleblow. But to reach out to us on the 24 hours number, our customers should call 0818 0000.
Okay, that's 0808.
No, 0818 0000, then 741. I'll take that slowly. 0818, zeros in 4 places, then 741. That's the emergency number, and it's open 24 hours.
Okay, so they can reach you on that particular line.
Absolutely. Anytime, even if it's 2 a.m., 1 a.m., call that number.
Okay, all right. I'm sure we'll be talking about some other measures that we can take as well, but we're going to go on a short break right now. 1 or 2 messages. When we return, we'll expand and discuss beyond the studios to have your input as well. I know some of you have been calling in already. You want to share your thoughts, but I would appreciate it if you can also give us solutions to the issues of vandalism within the Ikeja Disco Network. These are many more we're reflecting on. A brief break. We'll be back.
My brother, what is the problem with these NEPA people? They have disconnected my light again.
There's nothing like NEPA again. It's Ikeja Electric. Did you connect illegally?
I only called one electrician nearby to connect it for me.
What? You and that electrician are joking with 21 years imprisonment. It's illegal to
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Ikeja Electric and You is the program, and I have Edwin Agbo, who's security, that's the Zoneal security manager for Ikeja Electric, as well as Halimah Shuaibu, who's the external communications coordinator for that disco. All right, so let's see if we can expand the discourse beyond the studios to have you as well. 0809 912 0777 and 091 5387 7127. All right, 091 5387 7127. Those are the numbers that you can connect. Most of the roads, the areas we're covering, still looking very, very good. But we're still putting our eyes on that particular breakdown at mile 12 towards Ketu. Hello there, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. My name is Oluwayimika.
Oluwayimika, nice to have you. Good morning.
Yes, sir. I've been hearing what the seniority of Ikeja Electric has been saying. But I think during and the government can still do more. The fact is that these people that vandalize, they tell all these cables at Alaba and all those places. Now, when you go to Alaba and you see all these cables, you see the mud. You see there are evidences that all these cables are dropped from somewhere. So they need to go there and then, at least if they are looking for the community to come and do it. So it cannot go that way. But I think they can go a step further. Let them those people selling all these it's not a rule. But those they should go after those people selling. If they are able to go after them, then the vandalism will reduce.
Okay, great suggestion. Thank you so much, Oluwayimika, for that one. All right, so he's saying that some of these cables can be traced to the sellers in some of these markets. Edwin?
Yeah, thank you. It's difficult because there is no tag to show this cable belong to Ikeja Electric or this belong to Eco. But what we've done over time is to see how we can engage the users and buyers of cable. For Ikeja Electric, we identify some of those vulnerable areas, those people who buy scraps, and we are discussing with security agencies on how to bring them to the table to have the discussion.
All right, let's take this call. Hello there.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's the name?
My name is Lekon. I'm calling all the way from Ikeja at the moment.
Nice to hear from you. Right.
Thank you for the wonderful program.
Right.
All right, I just want to share some what we did in our community.
Okay.
I see around the constitution of Lagos.
Right.
I don't want to mention the streets for security purpose. Our transformer has been vandalized 3 times in the course of last year, 2023. The first one, they removed the JP cable or so like that. I happen to stay at the junction where the transformer is. The transformer is actually at my house, in the corner piece,
okay,
outside the house. So, and I stay up. So, the first one was the JP cable. We didn't know. It was the signal from my 12, also from the control, that they traced it to our place, that they removed the JP cable. So it took them about maybe a week or so because they could not get the JP cable to fix. But the second time they came again, they removed another thing from the transformer.
Right.
So that one affected the whole street up to the adjoining street. Let me just put it like that. So I called the CDA chairman that this is getting much. Now, when we approached the Ikeja Electric that came, they said this thing that happened is an experienced person must have done because there must be an electrocution. That means the person will have insulated himself to remove, because this is what they do now. They remove the 3 lines, JP cable, remove it.
Wow.
And immediately when the thing happened, it sounded a loud voice, and I ran outside from the balcony to check, but we couldn't get any. So what we did when we met the CDA chairman, we called all the CDAs as executives according to the street. So they came for about 2 weeks around December. We didn't have light. So everybody was feeling it that we need to do something.
Right.
So the Ikeja people told us that we need to do some certain, because they cannot keep coming and they keep vandalizing. So what we did is that we levied ourselves, each houses, bring what you have, and we raised the security, the fence of the burglary within the transformer.
Okay.
Number 1. We did the wire, electrical wire, this thing on the net, on the fence. This binding wire, we did it to number 2.
Right.
Okay. We got solar lights to that place.
Right.
3 solar lights to that place. And we got a camera with a motion sensor. That anybody that passes through, it will sound. Both of the day and the morning. You understand?
Right.
And we actually fixed another about 200 watts of light to another pole. In fact, the camera is even attached to my house. I connected it directly because I told it, because I stay up. You understand?
Right.
So it is being viewed from up. So ever since this, and we make sure we talk to our security guys when you hear any sound, just make sure you go to the sound. Everybody is always at alert.
Right.
So since then that we have done, we put all this in place. We have not had any sort of vandalism.
Beautiful, beautiful. Lekon.
The Ikeja Electric advised us. We spent the money, but we understand the fact that they cannot be coming, and we keep telling them to repair JP, and it is affecting us.
Right.
But we were able to achieve this, and they were able to come. When they saw it that we've done it, they restored us, and since then we've never had issues.
And I want to appreciate you. Lekon, thank you so much for sharing that experience with us. We do appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Lekon. Thank you.
All right, so that is a measure, and that has to take place through the collaboration with Ikeja Electric, okay? So that means there are solutions that can be brought to bear. right?
Absolutely.
Edwin?
Yeah, that's true. These are part of some of the solutions we have profiled over time. Some of them are very expensive. Some communities don't have money, but there are those low-hanging fruit whereby you can just put your mega to watch over these things. Yeah, when you hear it, just like the said that they had a bank, we've seen cases whereby they are trying to vandalize and there's a bank and one of them get electrocuted and the other one will just drag their person out for it so there won't be any traces. So,
You mean it?
Yeah, we've seen it happen several times. When you see those signs, you see blood on the ground.
All right, let's take this call. Hello there, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Victor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry.
Yeah, Dr. Busari, nice to hear from you.
Thank you very much. You see, my suggestion is similar to what the last speaker has just said. You see, we consumers, we pay a lot. We keep complaining about all this, but at the end of the day, we consumers are the one bearing the brunt. You see, so let these providers, they should give us security. In as much as we can get security guys to man our transformers, they too should be able to spend some of the money we pay to them. It's not just about increasing tariff all the time, that we consumers keep bearing, the brunt all the time.
Right.
Please, they should do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Busari. So, Halimah, is that something that Ikeja Electric will want to bear? I mean, if you want to secure your assets, why not put in place something that can be long-lasting so that probably the community can pay for it on the long run, but then put it in place first.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Victor. Yes, the business is already doing that. Okay, so maybe for older transformers, but as we're moving forward, we're taking learning points from some of these cases that we've had, and we're ensuring that as we are installing new ones or even replacing them, we're putting measures in place like barbed wires, like even fortifying the cable. An example, in a place like Shomolu, for instance, some of those cables are fortified with concrete cement to make the process of vandalism. So at least it takes some time, and maybe the community will even be alerted. So by the time you're taking time to break through something, that takes a long time, and of course is a deterrent. So yes, we're doing that. Okay. Of course, we're investing and we're doing a lot to ensure that this thing. If, as a matter of fact, just to add to what we were saying the other time, in Akonwajo, for instance, tomorrow we're also going to meeting with community heads and influencers tomorrow somewhere in Gowon Estate. Yes, and our undertaking in Gowon Estate. So yes, so this is also for them people living in that area. They could join us tomorrow at 10:30. We're going to be speaking to how we're going to manage the menace of vandalism.
Which is very, very good. All right, then 08099120777, 09153877127. Those are the numbers that you can connect with us as we are discussing vandalism. We're trying to deal with that menace because it's affecting you and I. Okay, so if Ikeja Electric is not able to perform optimally, one of the major reasons is due to vandalism, and that's what they're saying on the program this morning. How can we tackle all of this? All right, so Edwin, before we take the next set of calls, for those who we call regularly to come help us fix, right? We know that sometimes we call people to come and help us do the installations here and there. Could that also be one of the reasons why we're having those increased levels of vandalism?
Okay, thank you, Victor. For those people we call, I'll look at it from two different perspectives. Are they actually Ikeja Electric staff, or they are people we NEPA 2?
Yeah, NEPA 2. Those that are in the neighborhood.
We've seen cases whereby people claim they are ex-staff within community, and community felt rather than coming to Ikeja Electric and report these cases, it's good we call these people. These are people that actually cause damage to our DTs. Ikeja Electric as a team would normally come there, assess that transformer, identify if it's overload or not. But those NEPA 2 guys don't do that. You just remove one wire from one place and act it. And at times it causes this vandalism. They have access to those DT on header access, and actually resort to vandalism. A campaign is that place. Once you have a problem, come to Ikeja Electric, report those cases, document it. You'll be given a service request number. It's very sure that request have been logged in, and there's a time frame to close out that report. We track those people that report, and then we ensure that we fix it within time.
So we should desist for making use of NEPA 2?
Exactly.
But they're the closest to us now.
Yeah, but when your DT go bad, they're
the ones that are very close to us. Halimah, you seem to be smiling here. Let's take this call. Hello there. Hello. And I will list that 08099120777 09153877127. Those are the numbers, and you can also send in your messages as well. Feel free to do that. So vandalism is very, very high, and of course you guys are looking at what you can do to curtail its excesses. I've not heard you mention vandalism in some of the further western side of Lagos. Those areas are linked to Ojo, and I think you're in charge of those areas too, right?
No, it's a different network. It's under,
Echo.
Okay, Ojo is under Echo. All right, so where is the farthest that Ikeja reaches in Lagos?
Up to Arepo, from Bariga, Ibobi up to Abule Oja,
okay.
sharing boundaries with the Unilag side.
Okay, so
up to Arepo, that's from the.
What about Ikotun? Are you there?
Yeah, we are there.
Ikotun, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's under the Abule.
Right.
Ikotun is under,
What about
No.
Yanoba?
Under Oshodi, part of that area.
Yes. Then we have Oshodi area. We have Akonwojo area, the Egbeda, the one that I mentioned.
Right.
All of those axes.
We have Lambe, we have
Akute.
Oh, okay. So those corridors fall under Ikeja Electric.
Absolutely.
And for the transformers now, if a transformer is damaged, it is your duty, right? Or is it the community's duty to replace it?
Oh, definitely our duty is our responsibility to replace it. And that's why we discourage people reaching out to maybe third party. Just everything should be channeled through Ikeja Electric. And of course, the customer complaint mechanism is in place. You can decide to put a call through. You can send an email. You can reach out to us on our social media platforms. To reach out to us on via a phone call is 0201 7000 250. That's if you're calling. You can also send an email to customercare@ikejaelectric.com. Right. customercare@ikejaelectric.com, or you can even just use the social media. A lot of us are on social media these days. On Facebook, we are @Ikeja Electric, Instagram @Ikeja Electric, on X @Ikeja Electric. State the location, state the details in full, send it to our DM and someone will respond.
All right, so let's begin to take this home now. This beautiful Monday morning. Agbo, what's the message, and how can we stop all of this? What should we do collectively? What are the strategies that we can deploy?
Okay, thank you. The message is that we need to work together with communities, identify where our DT is situated, look at those infrastructure and our security architecture. Due to the level of insecurity, we found that where our transformers sit, people have constructed gates and leave the transformer outside the gate. That's it on, so which make it more vulnerable.
That's very exposed.
Yes, so we make it more vulnerable for vandals. Our campaign is here. We want to work together. We have identified minimum measures we need to put in place. Like Lekon said, they fortify those cables. They put a barbed wire, put solar panels. For new installation for Ikeja Electric, that have been taken into consideration. Any new transformer that want to come in upstream, we construct that, ensure that we have good perimeter fencing, good lighting, and the cables are well fortified. For others within those communities, that's why we are carrying out this campaign, this engagement. We need to work together. But just like the campaign is, let's protect you and secure our asset, which means our asset that sit within your community, right. The way you also look at it. We also want to appreciate certain communities that have taken this campaign, and they've done well for us as a business.
Okay.
Within the year, they've arrested 6 vendors, and all these 6 have gone the process of prosecution,
which is very, very good. But some are putting this on the doorsteps of Ikeja Electric as well. Halimah, how would you respond to this allegation that says most of the people that also engage in this vandalism says some of them are also staff of Ikeja Electric? How would you respond to that?
Yeah, we get this anytime we go for customer engagement, and like I tell people, so far, as much as since I've joined this business, we're yet to see somebody from this establishment being caught. These vandals are, like my colleague has said, we get them all the time. Just like 2 have been arrested in Mojo, and none of them. And that's why we have whistleblowing platforms, so that when you think that our people are saboteurs, please use the whistleblowing platform to escalate, and is anonymous. You can remain anonymous while doing that. So if that allegation is true, we have the business has put in place a way that people can escalate it without being known. You can remain anonymous while doing that.
Okay, then we'll leave it at that for now because of time constraints. Let me say a very big thank you to you, Halimah Shuaibu. Thank you so much for making it through to the studio this morning. And to Edwin, it's nice having you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Anytime you have any other alarms, just give us a buzz, and we can ring that out on the program. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we have to go. The program has been produced by Mike James. I say a big thank you to Gladys Omenime, as well as our social media team. Our executive producer is Tayo Akole. My name is Victor Terry. Have a splendid day. Bye.